In the heart of Oyo, a storm once fell in love with a river. Shango the Thunder King, powerful and proud. Osun the goddess of river, gentle yet unbreakable. Their love shook empires, but their war shook the heavens. Long ago, in the heart of Yoruba land, the Orisha walked among mortals. Some came with storms, others with river, some with wisdom, some with war. Among them was Osun, the goddess of love, fertility, and flowing rivers. Whenever she passed, laughter followed. Her beauty was unmatched, her voice gentle as water. Her presence was a balm to both king and beggars. She was not just a goddess, she was the pulse of life itself, soft yet unyielding, calm yet powerful. But in the skies raged another force, Shango, the god of thunder and fire. His roar could split the heavens, his axe could shatter mountains, and his presence made warriors tremble. Shango was fierce, untamed, magnetic. Women adored him, men feared him, and the kingdom rose and fell under his storm. He was the first. He was the fire that consumed all in his path. Their words would never have touched. Water and fire is our enemy, destiny to clash, yet the destiny does not ask for permission. It was in Oyo, the great city of kings, that Shango first beheld Osun. She walked through the marketplace, her golden ornament catching the sun, her laughter like the murmurs of rivers over smooth stone. Shango from his palace saw her and felt something he had not felt before, not conquest, not desire, but the need. He approached her not as a king, but as a man, caught in a storm he could not control. Woman of the river, he said, his voice deep as a rolling thunder. The earth bends beneath your beauty. Tell me your name, that I may carve it into the heart of the sky. Osun looked at him with a calm and shaking eye. I am Osun. I do not belong to the sky, nor to the fire. I flow where I choose, even with the mightiest flame, cannot command the river. Shango was struck silent. For the first time, his fire met something it could not burn away. That night, the city whispered of what it had seen, the meeting of thunder and river. Some said it was the birth of love that would shake the heavens, others warned it was the beginning of a storm too great to endure. And Osun herself, as she returned to her sacred water, felt the echo of thunder in her chest. She knew this meeting was no accident, it was fate. But fate also, she knew, was never gentle. From the moment Shango beheld Osun, he was consumed. The warrior king who had faced many armies and storm now faced something greater, a woman whose calm defiled his fire. Shango, proud as he was, could not let her slip away. He came to her river shrine, his royal cloak trailing behind him, his double-edged sword gleaming. The drums of Oyo beat in silence, announcing his presence. But Osun, sitting beside the flowing waters, did not rise to greet him. She continued to pour the libations into the water, her golden bangles shimmering softly. You summon storms, she said without looking up, yet you cannot summon me. Shango laughed, thunder in his chest. I command fire, rain, lightning itself, yet when I see you, my power flatters. Osun, the goddess of river, I have conquered kingdoms, but my heart is conquered by you. Be mine, and together we will rule heaven and earth. Osun lifted her gaze, her eyes like deep waters, hiding unseen currents. You are fire, Shango. You consume, you rage, you devour, but rivers do not bow to fire. Tell me, would you cherish me, or would you scorch me until nothing remains? The question cut deeper than any blade. Shango's pride bristled, but his desire burned brighter. I would not scorch you, he said, lowering his voice, almost tender. I would let your water cool my fire. I would let you guide my storm for days and nights. Shango pursued her. He sent gifts, gold, silk, warrior spurs. He called upon drummers to play her praises in her name. Yet Osun was unmoved. She did not want riches or song. She wanted proof that even thunder could learn patience, that even fire could honor what it could not control. One evening, as the sun bled into the horizon, Osun spoke again. If you wish to claim me, do not bring me gold, do not bring me fire, bring me your silence. Sit with me by the river and say nothing. Shango, restless and wise, struggled, but he obeyed. For the first time, he sat still, listening not to the roaring of thunder, but to the whispers of waters. And in that silence, he began to understand her. When Osun finally smiled at him, it was not in surrender, but in recognition. The fire had not conquered the river that tempered the fire, so their courtship began, not to conquest, but but to balance. Yet balance is fragile, and even the calmest river may flood when storm grows too fierce. For a time, Oyo tried beneath the union of rivers and thunder. The people sang of Shango victories in battle and Osun blessing upon their crop. Together they were strength and grace, passion and peace. Lover whispers their name in secret prayer. Open their own heart, my born on as brightly, but fire by nature cannot stay still. Shango was restless, his temper fierce. In moments of passion, his love for Osun roared like a storm, shaking every walls of the palace. Yet in anger, his thunder turned cruel. His words were like lightning strikes. Osun, patient as the flowing river, met his fury with silence. But silence too can wound. At times, she would weep into her waters, asking herself if love meant to endure storms until the past, or whether love was meant to calm them before they began. It's when they would clash like elements in war. Shango would raise his voice, flame dancing in his eyes. I am king. The world trembles before me. Osun, why do you not bow? Osun would stand tall, a golden ornament glowing in the firelight. I am no trembling flame, Shango. I am the river. I bow to none. The court whispered of their quarrels. Some feared that the gods would tear each other apart. Yet, the same mouth that gossiped also envied them, for their love, through turbulence, was alive, raw, unbroken by pretense. When the storm passed, they always returned to each other. Shango's embrace, fierce and consuming, melted Osun's sorrow, and Osun's gentle touch cooled the blaze in his heart. But each storm left scars, invisible but deep. Still, the people prayed for them, for they saw in Osun and Shango the truth of love itself, that it was not always gentle, not always kind. Love could be passion that scorched as much as it warmed, a river that drowned as much as it nourished, and in heavens, other orishas watched, some in awe, some in jealousy, others in dread, for they knew the love between thunder and river was not finished. The great storm was yet to come. Shango was fire, and the fire is never satisfied with one flame. Though Osun's beauty and wisdom bound his heart, temptation circled him like shadows. Whispers spread of his liaisons with other goddess, Oya, the tempestuous wind, fierce as battle itself, Oba, dutiful and devoted, who longed to be his queen. At first, Osun dismissed the rumor. She believed in balance, in patience, but truth cannot be hidden from the river. It always finds its way to the surface. When she learnt of Osun's betrayal, her heart sank, her heart shattered like a clay struck by thunder. Is the fire never content? She asked him one night, her voice trembling like ripples in the troubled water. Shango, proud, lifted his chin. I am a king. The world bow before me. Must my love be chained? Her eyes filled with sorrow, but also with strength. Love is not a chain, Shango. Love is choosing one flame, though the forest offers many. If you cannot choose me, then you do not know love at all. But Shango was blinded by his pride. Oya's storms thrilled him. Oba's devotion suited him. He thought himself invisible, believing the river would always return to him no matter how far he strayed. Yet betrayal breeds more than heartbreak. It breeds storm. Oya, fiery with jealousy, clashed with Osun. Oba, desperate to win Shango's heart, made a tragic sacrifice, offering him her ear in proof of devotion. But Shango, horrified, rejected her. Chaos erupted, not just in his palace, but in heavens in themselves. Osun withdrew to her sacred river, wounded but not defeated. For the first time, she did not answer Shango's call. Her silence was no longer patient, it was defiance. Without her, his palace grew cold, his victory empty, and the people of Oyo whispered of thunder without rain, fire without warmth. They saw their king unravel, undone, not by armies, but by the heart he had betrayed. But Shango, though he would never admit it out loud, knew the truth. No fire, no storm, no thunder could ever replace the calm strength of the river he had lost. The storm he had unleashed would not spare him, it would consume him, and from its ashes his name would be passed into legend. The storm raged, but the storms cannot last forever. Shango's pride burned too brightly, and pride always devours itself in time. He fell, whether by his own hand or by exile or by the god's decree, and the griot still debates. Some say he ascended into the heavens, carried by lightning, becoming the Orisha of thunder itself. Others whispered he wandered into the forest, consumed by regret. But Osun endured. Rivers do not die. They weave through generations. She returned to her people, no longer just the consort of a king, but the goddess of fertility, love, and divine justice. Where Shango flamed that scorched, Osun water healed. Where thundered frightening, her laughter soothed, and yet the memory of Shango lingered in her heart. For though he betrayed her, He had also awakened the passion in her soul, fire and river, opposite that could never fully blend, yet could never fully part. The griot say that when lightning flashes on the sky and rain pours over the earth, it is Shango calling to Osun, begging for forgiveness. And when river swells, flowing strong and unbroken, it is Osun answering, not with anger, but with dignity. A reminder that love endures even after pain. Love is not possession, she said to the whispers through the waters. It is the strength to let go and the courage to remain true to oneself. The people of Oyo learned from their gods. From Shango, they took fire, courage, and thunder, and from Oshun, they took beauty, wisdom, and the endless flow of love. Together, their story became a living parable. The passion without balance brings ruins, and even betrayal cannot erase the power of love's memory. And so the tale of Shango and Oshun did not end with their separation. It became eternal, carried in every storm, in every river, in every heart that has ever loved too fiercely or forgiven too deeply. For the world remembers, thunder may roar, but the river always follows. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to African Griots for more inspiring African stories that has been buried deep in history.